Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Altcoin Mentors YouTube channel. My name is Peter, and today I'm going to be doing our weekly technical analysis for all of the cryptocurrencies that we currently watch on Altcoin Mentors. Our main goal here at Altcoin Mentors is to help as many people as possible achieve their goal of financial freedom. We believe trading cryptocurrencies is an opportunity of a lifetime. By the end of this video, you should have a better understanding of where Bitcoin and the other cryptocurrencies are going in the near term and in the long term future. If you like our videos, please follow us on Twitter and on Telegram, also here on YouTube. We also have a model portfolio so you can track and view our positions for our 2K 5X challenge. The link is down below. If you'd like to be notified of our latest videos, please hit the bell button. Okay, so let's start looking at Bitcoin. So the crypto markets over the last week, has gone up. In the beginning of the week, it was kind of going sideways, and over the last few days, it's gone up. So the other day, I tweeted that, if you look at this chart here, that Bitcoin needed to have a higher high wave to confirm the key uptrend. So that's really the key. So if you watched our other videos last week on waves and higher highs, higher lows, lower highs, lower lows, right? You see this trend up here. So we have a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. And then as it's going down, now we have a lower low. So in order to move up, and if you have a big cycle, so if you look at the bigger cycle, you see that we have a lower high over here, lower low, lower low, lower high, but now here we go. We have a higher low, and this is what I was talking about. So with a higher low, what we need to have is a higher high. So same thing here. We had kind of a low, low, high that kind of touched the same blue range that we were in. Now we needed a higher high wave to confirm the uptrend, and then that's exactly what it did. Then it started to speed up a little bit here. And so right now I am net long about 20%. If it goes up to 7,700, which is our resistance level over here, right, then I'm going to add a little bit more to my positions and start going a little bit more aggressively. But I won't be in fully until it goes much, much higher. So let's look at the charts here. So on a weekly scale, if you look at it here, we have our first color change bar to the upside since a couple weeks ago. But the great thing though here is for followers of Heikin-Ashi, and these are all Heikin-Ashi candles, is that dojis. Heikin-Ashi doji is a very important cycle. So here you can see the doji over here going down, doji over here, maybe a little bit of false signal, but then they had a doji down here, doji down here, doji up here. So this doji created the upswing to the top, this doji down, and now we have a doji here with a confirmation to the top side. So on the weeklies, it looks pretty strong, but until it passes 7,700, then it can have a little bit of resistance. And after 7,700, then we have medium-term resistance at 8,400, 9,400, and then at 10,000. And to really break this bear trend, what we really need to do is we need to break above this level here, which is 11.8. So once we do that, then I think it'll be free and clear up to match the all-time highs up to the top. So let's look at it on a shorter time frame. So we have the 6-hour time frame. So here, once again, if you look at it, we're still kind of in a little bit of a downtrend. That's why I said the other day that the medium-term trend is turned positive on our AM wave trend indicator, but our long-term is still neutral right now. So until it kind of breaks this level here, stays above here for a while, it's going to be neutral for a little bit longer. Because look at it on a longer time frame, you see it. We have a higher, we have a lower high, lower low, and it went up here, lower high, and then now we have a lower low. And the key thing is here, we don't know how far this is going to go. So that's why, in order for us, that's why I'm not going to go totally 100% long until it makes a new higher high on a longer time scale. So everything is about time frame. So after trading for about over 20 years, I told people that trading is a long game. Right? So if you want to make a living out of trading anything in this world, you have to think about the long-term perspective. So you have to always zoom out and always remember where the forest is. So you can take advantage of short-term directions in the market, but you always have to be cognizant and aware of the longer term effects. So here, if you look at it on the longer term scale, right, you can see it. It's on a little bit of a downtrend, downtrend. It based here for a while, turned to neutral, and until we get a higher high up here, you can't go all in, right? So if you have, what people might say, like, big set of balls or whatever, yes, you can do it. But if it falls flat, then you can be in a little bit of trouble. So trading is not gambling. It's not about risk taking. It's about managing your risk, managing your money, and managing your emotions as well. All right, so let's look at Ether. So Ether looks pretty strong here, but it didn't make a big a move as Bitcoin did. But it did create a new higher high up here. So I think for the foreseeable future, it might go a little bit higher. But it hit a wall here at 502. So 502 is major resistance for Ether. And until it breaks it, it can't go much higher. The next level, if it does break it, is 586. So one of the things that I talk about here is that I don't make predictions. When it gets to a certain level, I don't say, oh, it's going to break it. I'm hoping it breaks it, especially if I'm long. But when I do say things like, if it breaks it, then most likely it's going to go higher. I'm not trying to hedge myself. What I'm trying to say is that I don't make predictions. I don't say, oh, if it goes here, then definitely 100% Ether is going to go up to 590, then 650, then 700, right? What I'm saying is that things go in stages. So if Ether wants to go higher, it has to break 502 first. Then once it maintains it, it has a very good chance of getting to 586 and then 650. So let's look at EOS. So EOS, unfortunately, does not have a higher high, right? So it's in a different type of a pattern. So even if you look at it on a short term, right? You look at it here. So you can see that here you have, it's been in a bit of a range right here. So this is the range for EOS. So until it breaks out of this range, just like with Bitcoin, it's not going to go that much higher. So buying the dip, all those things, I don't really know about that too much on it. All I know is that with the waves here, because it's in a stalled movement here for the last couple weeks, right? I'm not doing anything with EOS. So let's look at Monero. Monero also barely made a higher high wave, but right now, just like with Ether, it's at major resistance, which is at 148. So it did do a nice job of recovering off the bounce of 138. But if you look at it on a longer term perspective here, right, it's still in a downtrend, just like a lot of other things, but it doesn't look as strong until it makes a new higher high wave up here. So that's to close above here and confirm to make a higher high wave. So let's look at Icon. So Icon is the same thing as Manero, probably a little bit worse because it hasn't even matched the higher high. And if you look at it here, you have lower lows, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. And so is this going to be a lower high? So until it makes a higher high and a higher low, we can't really see it going much higher. Let's look at the Enigma, right? So same thing with the Enigma here, right? You see it lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, right? It looked like it was going to break out because it had a higher low, but then look, it had now a lower low. And we don't know what this is going to be right here. If it bounces off of 140, which might be support, and it goes a little bit higher and it breaks out above this level over here, right? So this is not a level because that's a wick, right? So that's the thing to understand. It has to kind of like close. So this is not the range. This is the range right here, right? Which actually matches support from over here. So the range would be there. And if you're doing it over here, right, the range is right over here for Enigma. So let's get ZRX. So ZRX was one of the altcoins that I talked about previously. It's one of the ones that I really liked. I had no idea that Coinbase was going to add it, but just looking at the charts, it looked a little bit better. Because if you look at it here, it was on a downward trend over here, right? But it created a higher high before everyone else. And then news came in, and then it went higher. So here's the high over here. Here's the low, high, right? Touched resistance at 105, and then came back down. And then news came in, and then it started jetting a little bit higher. But unfortunately, though, for ZRX, it still has some headwinds to go through. So it's looking sideways on a longer-term view. So if it has, the next headwind is at 145 and then at 206. has to break these levels, right? If it does, then it can go back up to the highs around 280 and maybe even much higher. So let's look at the Zcoin. So Zcoin is looking lower and lower and lower, and unfortunately, it has not made a higher high. So this doesn't look like it's going to go that much higher. So here's Chainlink, same thing. It didn't match its high from previous point. It is at came close to resistance 1, 2, 3 times. So this is a major line. So we have 1, 2, 3, and this is the 4th time. It got close to about 26 cents, and now it's on its way down, unlike everything else. So like, look at this. So if you look at it over here, most of the things are positive except for Zcoin, Chainlink, and RLC. So that is weakness. So we have a market going stronger, but we have these 3 coins going a little bit weaker. So let's get my other favorite here for one of the altcoins is Bitshares. So for Bitshares, I also said that this is one of the altcoins that I really like, just on a chart view, because it made a new higher high over here without any news. Everything else was channeling for a little bit. It went and it didn't go as low. So it hit its support right in the dot at 12 cents. So why did I draw that line over here? Well, because it was over here, right, back in March and April, right? And over here back in December. So that was a line. So that was a major support line at 12 cents. It went above 15 cents. It went up. It went down. Hit support again, right? Stalled a little bit, 19 cents. Now it's back up to resistance at about 24 cents. And if it breaks this little range over here, it'll definitely create a new major wave high. And then it can go up to back up to 28 cents and then maybe back up to 38 cents. So these are all maybes because anything can happen in the marketplace, but these are barriers right now. And if it crosses the barriers, then they have a very good chance of going a little bit higher. So what I'm not doing is I don't put orders in at 24 cents. So major support, major resistance here, not major, but medium-term resistance is at 23.8 cents. So I don't put an order in for a breakout because it has to kind of confirm. So if it does go up, then if it kind of dips down below and it curls back up, then I'd like to go long again. But I'm not just going higher and higher, higher. I need to see, I like for it to go a little bit higher, go a little bit lower. So basically here, so if I was a really big believer in Bitshares, right, I wanted to get in early. Off the bounce here, I wait for it to kind of dip, wait for it to curl, confirm, and then go in. So this is what I'm looking for over here too. If it breaks this high of 24 cents, I like to see it go to maybe like 26 cents, dip down, hit support again. And then once it confirms support and it goes a little bit higher, then I will be very, very aggressive to the upside. So look at the RLC. So RLC, unfortunately, is just like Chainlink and Zcoin. It's not making higher high waves. It's kind of stalled for pretty much of a long time. So if you look at it over here, this is the areas. This is the range. Right there and right there. Right, this is the range that RLC has been in until it kind of breaks it. Unfortunately, it hasn't. So until it does, right, it's kind of in a stalled motion. So let me go back to Bitcoin and tell you about my plan. So I tweeted this out the other day. Right. So here's the tweet. Basically, I net long 20%. I'm going to add another 40% above 7,700 and add 20% at 8,400 and 9,400. And that's really what I'm waiting for do. Because if you look at a longer term view, those are the barriers. So we have a barrier at 7,700, 8,400, 9,400, and close to 10,000 over here. So as it's going higher and higher and higher, right, I'm going to be adding. Because the adage really is, and people sometimes don't believe it, is that you buy high, sell higher, right? You don't wait for it to go low and buy low and sell high, because the thing is you don't know when it's gonna stop going lower. So as it's going higher, I buy into strength. So hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching. If you like our videos, please share it with your friends and other crypto traders. You can follow us on Twitter and on Telegram and here on YouTube. If you have any questions, please ask away in the comment section below. We do a very good job of answering all of our comments and questions right away. Thank you again for watching, and see you in our next video.